Okay, welcome back to another live stream, everyone. Normally we do question period here, and that is my intention, as is every time I go live on this channel. But it seems like they're off to a very bizarre start. So earlier this morning, they did the election process for the new House Speaker, and as I predicted, well, we're going to see in a moment who it went to. But right now, the House is suspended to call to the chair. I mean, I've got multiple streams pulled up, but you can see here on CPAC's broadcast, it's showing the House is suspended. So I'm not sure because they're all there in the House. So I don't know if it's like a pizza day for children in middle school. I don't know what's going on with question period that's supposed to be scheduled right now. Nonetheless, they are literally there. They're all in the House. I don't know. Maybe they're having some sort of pizza party. It looks very bizarre. But let's take a look at the moment after the new speaker was elected and what that looks like. So I just want to thank everyone for joining the stream. I'm going to keep the stream going and see what's happening with this weird question period suspension. I don't know. It's the new speaker's first day, so I'm not sure why they're not doing oral questions. Maybe because it's literally his first day. You would think that would have been in the schedule and the itinerary, but no, it's not. And anyways, let's take a look at what's happened with the new speaker here. They went for a diversity hire, folks.
L'honorable Premier Ministre.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Très honorable.
Oh.
Right Honourable.
Mon premier erreur.
My first mistake. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Monsieur le Président.
Dude, his first address as House Speaker, and he got it wrong. His first address, and he got it wrong. That's insane.
Au nom du gouvernement.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf
He's a liberal, by the way.
of all members in this House, I wish to congratulate you for your election. I also want to thank everyone who ran. Thank you for answering the call when it was time to keep our democracy strong and healthy.
Speaker, today you are the first Black Canadian to become Speaker of this House.
That's why they went for it, folks. The first Black Canadian to be Speaker of the House.
Should be inspiring for all Canadians, especially younger generations who want to get involved in politics. Congratulations. This House is the home of Canadian democracy. Members of Parliament come from every corner of the country to represent their communities. Canadians from coast to coast to coast elect us to work hard for them and to be their voices in this place. They elected us to deliver results to help make their lives better. This remains our #1 job. And the only way we can make progress is by working together, by respecting each other. La Chambre des communes est un endroit pour...
The House of Commons is a place for debating ideas. It's normal that we don't always agree with our colleagues. Mr. Speaker, we elected you to help us to be civil in our debates, to remind us that we are all here for the same reason, which is to serve Canadians.
Sequential times for Canada and for the world. We must continue to work together to make life more affordable, to build more homes, to keep our democracy strong, to fight climate change and power the clean economy of tomorrow. On doit continuer notre travail pour
It's always about climate change.
Our work to ensure that the promise of Canada is held, the promise to improve every generation's quality of life.
sequential times, Canadians expect us all to work together to deliver results. They expect us to behave to the highest standards. Mr. Speaker, I know you will help us rise to meet this moment. Canada is the best country in the world.
Hear, hear.
Let's keep working all together to make it even better.
Canada used to be and should be still the best country in the world. But I don't think a single person can agree with that.
I now recognize the leader of the official opposition.
Et félicitations.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Mr. Speaker.
Into. I know that you have strong enough arms for the job because I had the difficult task of dragging you all the way to that chair, and we thought for a moment that you'd changed your mind when you took a turn to congratulate one of our colleagues on this side. But it is an incredible achievement to serve in the role that Parliament has bestowed upon you. C'est un honneur pour tous et
It's an honor for everyone to serve here in the House of Commons. Every single one among us is proud to have the responsibility of working for about 100,000 people among the general public. Sometimes, however, we forget how it works. Sometimes we think the Prime Minister is in charge and the House of Commons is underneath and the people are on the bottom, but it's quite the opposite. The public is actually in charge of our democracy. We are their servants, and the government must serve parliamentarians.
Parliament was invented. And the reason that these floors and seats are green is because the first commoners met in fields. They were the peasants and the farmers who were tired of having their crops taxed away by an impossibly cruel crown. And they gathered to force King John to sign the Magna Carta, the Great Charter, which of course restrained the power of the crown. And today we have a similar circumstance with a government that is excessively powerful and costly, that has overburdened the population, created unprecedented strain, particularly on middle class and working class peoples, who are now forced, in many cases, to live in tents, to lose their homes, who are skipping meals. We have 7 million who cannot afford food because of the inflationary taxes imposed upon that food by an overly greedy government. And so now more than ever, the role of Parliament in restraining the power of the Prime Minister is primordial. And we will continue to carry out that role proudly on the floor of this House of Commons, because we will always remember that we are servants and not masters of the nation.
It's a good speech there, Pierre.
And, Mr. Speaker, we will do it with common sense. Now, why is this important? I hear some members of the government who don't like the sound of the word common sense, and we can understand why they wouldn't. But isn't it interesting that this is called the House of Commons for a reason? That's right. Common wisdom. Our common
I don't know what happened.
Resources,
India's hacking it probably.
And our common future is determined by the people elected to serve in this place. And we must always do it with common sense. The common sense of the common people, united for our common home. Your home, my
home, our home.
Let's bring it home.
Man, he is good with words. I'll give him that.
I'd like to recognize the leader for the Bloc Québécois. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I need to talk about the person who presided over the House, the member for Bécancour, Nicolette Sorel. I want to thank him.
Vous savez, il a été un exemple, justement.
He was a fine example of impartiality. And before I congratulate you, I want to congratulate candidates who were on the list today and who ensured that our choice was difficult. They are great parliamentarians, They are effective and great debaters. And now I wish to talk about you, Mr. Speaker. I want to congratulate you on my behalf and on behalf of the Bloc Québécois. We're very pleased to see you on the throne. We're happy to see you there. Every speaker before you had a challenge. They had to go from one seat or one function where one had to be partisan, perhaps very partisan sometimes. When becoming speaker, one had to set partisanship aside and take on the vestments of impartiality. I am sure that you will fulfill that role and that you will be impartial. This will allow Parliament to work great work for the Canadian public, which it does expect of us. I have every confidence that you will be an impartial arbiter, if we stick to the hockey analogy, and on my behalf and on behalf of the Bloc Québécois, we offer you all our cooperation. Of course, I can't forget my whip and the leader who will work with you. I'm looking forward to working together so that ideas take first place and take first place above everything in this House.
Merci pour ces bons commentaires.
Thank you for those comments. I now wish to recognize the leader of the New Democratic Party.
Premièrement, au nom des
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of all the New Democrats, I want to congratulate you for your victory today. I also...
Yeah, it benefits your coalition, you sellout.
Or rather, I want to congratulate you for the work that you have done as a parliamentarian, member for Hull Aylmer since 2015. I want to say, I think many of the members are saying the same thing. You're a person who has always given a great smile, said hello to everyone.
Without much exception, you're one of the friendliest members of Parliament. It's great to see you in this chair now. Congratulations. I know it's been said, but I want to just underline what having you elected means. First of all, I want to acknowledge the humility that you express, that people don't come to a match to watch the referee, they come to watch the stars. I think you started off with a message of humility, which is very powerful. But I also want to acknowledge the incredible weight that you now bear and the incredible feat that you've achieved. Now when people walk the halls of this place, when they look at the pictures on the walls, and they're reminded of some of the great achievements of Canada, some of the grave errors that we've made as a nation, they're one day going to see your face on the walls of this chamber. And what that's going to mean to kids visiting from far and wide who come to the capital city, there's going to be kids who maybe have come here and not seen themselves reflected on the walls. And that's going to change now. That's very powerful.
Cut off the coalition, buddy.
And I know you know how important that is, and it brings me to my next point, and that is the incredible role that you're now going to have to play, Mr. Speaker, to restore the honor of this chamber, something you mentioned in your speech as well. We know there's going to be, rightly so, increased attention on all parliamentarians and on this House. And I have no doubt that you will be able to satisfy your responsibilities with the utmost capacity, but it is indeed an increased responsibility. I also know that there are deep concerns about divisions in politics and the polarization of debate. And while vigorous debates are of course important, there is a certain tone and there's a certain decorum that must be upheld. And when I think about kids visiting, again, I come back to kids visiting this place, and sometimes school kids looking over and watching the elected officials of this country engaging in debate, I'm embarrassed sometimes that kids are watching people yelling out outlandish things, acting as if it's cool to be yelling at someone while they're speaking. And I hope that you can restore some of that decorum. I think it's important. Everyone's going to have their chance to share their viewpoints,
No, I think there should be more yelling.
People are able to express that, and then once they're done, they sit down, someone else can respond and rebut. And I hope that you can create that decorum, restore the prestige of this place, and restore confidence in the important work that happens here. Thank you so much for putting your name forward. Congratulations on being elected. Look forward to working with you.
I think we're going to end it there today, folks, because there is no question period. They are going around from the House of Commons to the Senate, and they're basically just congratulating the House Speaker. This feed has already happened when I'm live streaming. It's from like an hour and a bit ago. So I'm able to see what's happened ahead of time. And when I fast forward to current, the House is suspended. And so they're just going around and they're in the House of Commons and in the Senate congratulating the new House Speaker. So there is no point in watching all of the other B-team people congratulate the new House Speaker. I don't personally care, and I don't think you care, so that's where we're going to end this stream. I just want to say thanks for tuning in. Question period will resume tomorrow, so make sure that you're subscribed, you turn those post notifications on, because I will be making videos about this on this channel as well as my main channel, Mr. Sunshine Baby. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.